This is one of the hardest thing to film in this channel. I've always wanted to make a third installment or part of my first two videos about my experience with depression and anxiety and my reality about it. But recently I've been very busy at work and I've been really having a good time with my family and my friends, and basically like my weeks have been overbooked, that it wouldn't really be informational for me to talk about depression and anxiety if I'm speaking from a place of joy and fun and being busy and being productive. It wouldn't really portray, or I'm not really going to be able to speak about my experience if I'm not really experiencing yet, if that makes sense. I feel like if I'm going to film during those times, I would seem someone who's very strong, because when you're busy, when you're productive, when you're very happy with life and you talk about depression, you can't really relate to it. I have the tendency, I don't know about other people, but I have the tendency to downplay the experience and not really talk about it passionately, I guess. If that makes sense. So last night I was talking to my nephew and my niece, and I was like I was talking about like having an episode yesterday. I was having a very, very bad anxiety attack. I'm having a hard time breathing, and my mind just goes to like really different places, and again, my worst case scenarios, and it's difficult for me to function. It's difficult for me to just sit down and just not do anything. When I'm having a very bad anxiety, what I tend to do is go to my computer and do everything that I need to be doing with work, even if it's non-existent task. I need to do something. I need to make sure that I still have control with my life, that when it's collapsing, I'm still controlling some parts of it and trying to save it as much as possible. And that's the crazy thing about anxiety. It's like one thing fails and you feel like your entire world is falling apart. You need to control all factors in your life. And that's why I go to my computer to do work and work and work, or other things in my life that I have to work on. It creates so much urgency that it doesn't even feel like I'm satisfied even completing things that I'm supposed to be doing, because I feel like there are other things that I could control. And I was panicking and I was very emotional, and I really couldn't calm down. So I was talking to them about it, and as loving as they are to me, they offered assistance and whatever that I need to feel better. And I really appreciate that. But yeah, I want to share that, and so if you're not, if you don't have so much experience, or you haven't met anyone with anxiety, that you would have an idea at least of what anxiety is like. And today I woke up and I went to my computer, but I'm still very depressed. After I finished my work, I was supposed to go to gym to work out with my coach. And then I was supposed to meet my doctor. I had to cancel both appointments. And it's true, my reason was because I was busy. But if I'm just being really honest, my depression, if it gets really bad, it manifests physically, and my body is almost as if it's not functional. It's almost like all it want to do is go to bed and not do anything. And sometimes I'm scared that my body goes in self-destructive mode whenever that I am depressed. But I'm also trying to see it in a different perspective, that maybe it's my body telling me to shut down my world for now and then hibernate and take a rest. But it also makes me feel guilty because I'm not productive. And it makes me feel guilty thinking that I'm weak for letting depression stop me. And that's me internally scolding at myself and calling myself weak. And I should try to unlearn that. I should try to be more compassionate to myself and should try to be kinder to myself. That instead, it's okay to take a rest. It's okay to not do anything for today. It's okay to recharge. It's okay to hibernate. It's okay not to be the most productive and functional Sam. That it's totally fine to take a rest. And it's fine if you don't have a lot of control over things around you. And if they do collapse, eventually your life will still come together with a different piece. And that's what I've been thinking before filming this. I was trying to validate my fear and my guilt. So I just want to share how I deal with it and the struggles that I have. And to sum this video up, I have a few things that I want to share with you on how you can deal with your depression, anxiety. But of course, take it as a grain of salt. This is a method that I did to myself recently that kind of works when I'm having a very bad episode. It does not necessarily mean that it's clinically tested, or I should really, I really still suggest you talking to a therapist. But first thing that I do is when I'm going through like depression and anxiety is I talk to my family, my really trusted people that I know love me unconditionally, and people that I love unconditionally, like my close friends, like really close friends, or my family. And I talk about having a depression and anxiety and being more open about it, because I feel like the more I talk about it, the less power it has over me and the more power I have over it. And that second is try to be more compassionate and kinder to yourself when your depression stops you from doing things and you decided to just take a rest. It's fine. It's fine if you're not the most productive person for that day or whenever you're having that episode. Try to be more compassionate and kinder. Number 3 is try to validate all the negative things that go to your mind. If you feel guilty, try to validate why you feel guilty. If it's really something to feel guilty about, because sometimes you're just being too hard on yourself. And those are, like, I guess, a few things that I want to share with you how I'm dealing with it. Sorry, it's really hard to film this video, and I'm not going to put a lot of effects on this video because I want it to be as raw as possible. Yeah, this is kind of hard to film. I'm really hoping that you guys find this informational and find this helpful if you're struggling through the same thing. And the only thing I can tell you is that you are not alone. And it sounds really bad saying that there are a lot of people depressed. You're not alone. Oh my God, thank God there are other people depressed. But honestly, like, speaking on a serious note, you are not alone. And that you're loved. You're important. We can do this. Thank you guys for watching this video.